I don't know. It says it's going live. Oh, we're live. Are we live?
Not on my end, no.
Start over again.
I'm just, yeah, refresh.
Go to Facebook and see if we're going live. Should be live on that page too.
Oh, we had no internet for a minute. You see that?
Are you kidding me? We're live.
Nope.
What is that then? Oh. I got my personal page. It still should be live. Sorry, Instagram. We're still trying. What the? This is ridiculous. Every time we go live. Hey, everybody. Hey, Instagram. Sorry about this. We got 4 people watching. Look at that. And hopefully, there's 2 people watching.
Oh, really?
So we must be live. We're not even connecting.
I'm not too sure yet.
Go talk to him. I'm going to see what I can do here.
Okay, I'm also going to open it up on my end, see if I can find it.
Okay.
Also, we have lots to cover today, so hopefully we can get through this. We're trying a different route of streaming today, so hopefully this all works itself out. Obviously, new things always have to have a couple of kinks at first, but that's okay. We are here to work them out. Let's see here.
I don't think we have internet.
My phone's saying we're not connected to internet as well.
Oh, no, here we are.
It's coming up, but it's taking a minute.
No, it's here. We're here.
Mine's taking just a minute forever to
Look.
load. I'm sure
it's not the best.
I'm sure it probably is taking a minute to load on it. Mine's not even opening up for some reason.
Our internet, okay, it just came back. Now we're live on here.
It's not even allowing me to open up our live video on Facebook.
Ah.
Oh, are you okay?
Oh my goodness. Can you tell we're crazy over here? Oh. Go ahead, man.
I'm happy with Instagram because we have had no problems with Instagram, but Facebook, though, on the other hand,
we're live. Look at our ticker.
It won't even work for me.
No, but you found it.
I did. Yes.
And then we have it here, and I can see the comments.
It's just not. I see the video
Steve,
and the link.
Facebook here. Facebook, Steve, can you guys hear us okay?
It's just not even allowing me to open the link up. So
you can't hear me way back here.
It won't even allow me to open the video.
Okay.
So hopefully it is.
It says there's 4 people watching. Okay, so anyways, you guys, our mic stopped working right before it started.
I'm sending out a text and I'm asking if it's working.
Okay. So we cannot see. Hi, look at this. We've got a whole bunch here.
Oh, well, that's cool. At least Instagram, like I said, is still
Steve's
working.
on Facebook right now.
Someone on Instagram said that they moved over to Instagram because Facebook's not working.
It says it is. I'm watching it live.
They're telling me it's not.
I'm watching it live.
I don't know.
Look. You can barely hear us, though.
Really?
Yeah,
the mic isn't picking us up at all?
Oh, our volume's way down.
Oh, yeah, I had it turned down on there because I didn't want it to echo.
Okay, so you guys can hear us. Let me know, please, okay, here's Facebook people. Facebook, been here a while, can hear. I have Facebook now. Yes, it's working, David says. It's working. We're good to go.
Okay, I see his comment now.
Okay, so let me explain this to you guys. As you can see the ticker below, in our Time Warp Green, I'm so excited. Those of you on Instagram, jump over to Facebook soon. This will, if you want to see it. Real quick.
If you want to see the cool new stuff, you just have to go over to Facebook.
It will eventually come on to Instagram, but it's a slow grow. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, our company, Facebook that we've always done. Mm-hmm. It's also streaming live on my
personal Facebook.
My personal Facebook, my promotional Facebook, as well as our YouTube is streaming live on right now too. So we're streaming live across many different categories.
Yes.
We're testing certain things, so please bear with us today. Our mic stopped working the minute 5 minutes before.
Yes, but that's okay.
Because, these have good sound and you guys can hear us. So I'm excited about it because you can see the ticker. We're going to have some pop-ups. We're going to have some pictures in there.
Yes.
We're getting a little bit more.
New stuff. Yeah, Juju it up in here. I'm really excited about this year's topics because, you know, obviously with the new year.
Look what just popped up. Today's topics.
So I'm really excited for that. I could see it on the little screen. I thought that was cute.
Isn't that fun?
Very cute.
So, what's today's topic?
I was gonna say, I guess I don't even need to tell you since you've seen it, but we're but we're pretty much gonna be covering all of the basics here. So we're gonna be covering fitness, food, health, habits, and everything you can do to make 2025 the year you decide to conquer.
Yes, because so you got Miss Fitness here, who is a trainer and works at a gym as well. And it's so funny because a lot of people, and as you see here, you guys, some of you can see here. I don't know, can Facebook see it?
Yeah, they can. They can see a lot more than Instagram, honestly.
Oh, actually, yeah. So everything you see that is up here is a New Year's Eve resolution gone away.
Like this fuzzy bathroom scale that's literally like plushed on the bottom. Like, look at this, you guys. It's obviously on brand, very, very on brand with the coloring, but it's just fuzzy. So now you don't have to worry about stepping on an ice cold scale when you got this. And this was
probably 70s or 60s. 1964.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, cool.
1964, you guys. So I'm going to tell you, those of you who were born in the 90s and up, people in the 50s, 60s, it's always been a battle for weight.
Oh yeah.
Always been a battle. I mean, I'm carrying twins, quadruplets. Every year it seems to get another child in there. Because I don't. Do you do resolutions?
I do, but I'm going to touch base on it a little bit later, but the reason why I decided to swap out the word resolution for goals, because we talked about this last week, I think, is I do practically, but I switched the word out for mental purposes.
To goals.
Yeah.
Because resolutions are meant to be broken.
Right.
Whereas goals are meant to be achieved.
Exactly.
So the number one thing you got to remember when you're talking about resolutions and is don't call them resolutions. They're goals. Because we tend to strive more towards our goals. Look, everybody's moving to Facebook, moving to Facebook, moving to Facebook. That's hilarious.
And I mean, statistically, though.
Oh, they all came over to Facebook. Look at that.
I mean, statistically, though, you are right. As humans evolved over time, when a human achieves a goal, and this honestly goes for some animals too, it boosts our serotonin and dopamine, so it pushes us to want to strive to achieve another goal. And it's just human nature. It's always been like that. But when it comes to fitness and health-related goals, people tend to take them just a little bit more seriously.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. That's my grandma.
Your grandma's wife.
Hi, Grandma. How cute.
See, we can't see it on the screen anymore, so we got to take a look over here on the computer.
Yeah.
To see who's talking to us.
And that's okay, because I'm going to pop over there in a little bit so I can put some really cool things on the screen for you guys.
Yes, because when she talks about when we now got the ability to show you a picture.
I'm really excited to do that too, because when he told me today, I was like, oh, this is perfect because...
Isn't that fun? I love it. Well, this one will show us how many people are on there, just no comments. They need to put a comment thing in there.
I forgot something important in my locker. Keep them.
Okay, so resolutions. Let's talk about resolutions, you guys. And I should move Instagram back just a tish. Let's move you back so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. These right here all signify... they all signify resolutions that get broken within the first 30 days, okay? And I'm going to tell you some ideas in the vintage world on how to make sure that those things actually, you maintain them, right? Well, first of all, let me start with the number one most broken resolution is exercise more. And we're going to get into all of these, so don't worry, you guys. Ooh, Instagram can't even see me, and I must be seen. So, exercise more. The number two most broken resolution is lose weight. I break it every day. The next, oops, these are not in order. The next most important resolution is to save money. So we have exercise more. So I have the 1980s firm with, oh, I thought this was a different person.
The cardio sculptor.
The cardio sculptor with
Del Rio.
Here I have some vintage. See, I can't even tell you what they are because I don't use them now. Jump rope. And then for food purposes, I didn't grab anything for food.
I was so caught up with my
I meant to grab the food, like a plate, stuff like that.
There's just a lot of really cool.
And I'll go grab it.
Way
It's
back.
segregated pillates, meaning that when you use the actual segregations, meaning that there's 3 or 4 areas in there, will help you to maintain your.
Yeah, for sure.
Or just flat out knowing that your stomach's the size of your fist and it can only expand technically 4 times its size.
Michelle Obama really put that into place when she talked about the new and improved food pyramid, because she taught us that if you grab a plate that is as big as this kitchen.
Debbie, me too. All 3 are already broken. That's your grandma.
That if you grab a plate this big, statistically, it's just by fact, you're going to overfill your plate with way too many.
You're right.
With options or way too many large servings. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start with a smaller plate, and don't feel awkward or bad about going to get seconds. That just means your body's hungry and you want it. But I promise you, 9.5 times out of 10, if you start with a smaller plate, you're probably not going to go back for another one.
You probably aren't. And if you go to a rest, well, we'll get to that in a moment. Let me tell you the rest, and we're going to get it through those. And I was going to ask you what you think all these have to do with resolutions, but over time we've realized that not everybody answers questions. So we're going to tell you, and then you're going to tell us.
And you guys are going to go, oh my God, wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that, in the comments.
So number 3 is save money.
Sure.
Save money. So a bank is here, right? Then number 4, and this really got me a little bit, because number 4, the number 4 most broken resolution is spend more time with family.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? Spend more time with family. Number 4 most broken resolution. Learn a new skill.
Which this one's really cool because it's like a gigantic paint by number.
So if you want to learn how to paint.
If you want to pick it up.
Okay. If you want to learn how to paint, we'll show you these in more detail in a moment. The number 6 most broken resolution is read more. So the books, read more. And I know, Maria, if you're watching, this is not a resolution for you. It's a goal on how many books you can get through in a week.
This is, okay, I'm sorry. I have to add this in here really quick while it's important. I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to do what it says visible results in 10 workouts. I'm going to do it every day for 10 days, and then I'm going to come back.
Can you tape it?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So you'll be able to see that. We're going to give these things a test. It's all about, we talked about it today. We talked about it in the meeting I was with this morning with Caffeinated. It's all about the 90s are coming back.
Right.
And the 90s were big with exercise videos.
And the fact that it says I can achieve results in 10 workouts, say less on me.
Right. Number 7 most broken resolution is quitting smoking. Ashtrays here. Quitting smoking. Oh, Instagram can't see them and we're going to talk to you about what you can do with your different ashtrays. And we've had this show before, but because you don't want to just go throw them out because they're still useful. Number 8 is travel more. So of course I went and got Las Vegas.
Nice.
Because, you want to save money. So go to Vegas. So I got Las Vegas, and then I've got the New York tray down there. I've got Jamaica salt and pepper shakers. And I'm going to tell you, there are several resolutions in here that could achieve this. Now, that was number 8. Number 9 is get more organized, right? So, go ahead.
Ironically, today is National Organize Your House Day.
It is. And if you jump over to Caffeinated Conversations, you'll see Brooke interviewed the Serenity at Home, which is a home organizer.
Oh.
And check it out because it's pretty cool. And this is a perfect month to get it going because you're trapped inside anyways.
What are you looking for?
Get organized. So, with something like this that you organize your stuff in, these 1970s and 60s was a big decades for organizing your office, organizing stuff like that.
I wish we had a trapper keeper.
And then number 10, which I think should fall between 1 and 2, is eat healthier. Because if you eat healthier, so, what I find funny is every single one of these resolutions helps the one next to it. Yeah.
It's funny how they all go hand in hand.
So it's almost like a grocery bag that you just keep throwing out.
Yep, practically. And I think it's we might have covered this last year, but I think we should cover it again, especially following up after this one. We should cover TV dinners again. And,
we will. We can.
The rise and fall between those, and then.
Well, it was the preserving.
Right.
The ability to preserve the high salt content.
Exactly. Because
as a trainer, as well as I know that before I wasn't always this fat. before my wedding, I worked with a trainer
Mhm.
and I worked with a nutritionist and stopped putting salt in your diet.
No, yeah, it's so much salt is in already so many processed foods that if you were to like take out the salt content by itself, you would probably be astonished.
One thing I learned when I was going through nutrition, getting ready for the wedding is, I guess I need another big event in my life coming up so I can actually
have something to look forward to. You're so funny.
Right? Is there is salt in every single thing we eat. Mm-hmm. Every single thing. Whether you add salt to it or not, there is salt in every single thing we eat. You grow a plant out of the ground and you eat it directly out of the ground. Guess what? There's sodium in it because our sodium makeup is so big in the planet that you do not have to add 1 teaspoon, one little granule to any of your food, and you've already hit your salt intake requirement.
Isn't that crazy? Crazy work.
Salt is also the #1 fat blocker. Mm-hmm. Meaning, and when I say fat blocker, it doesn't block your body from getting fat. It blocks your body from losing fat.
And it's also one of those, it like masks a part of our brain.
I love it when I learn something.
It's a part that masks a cell in our brain that prevents us from feeling full.
It does, yeah.
So if you eat a lot of salt throughout the day, you're more than likely already over.
So, of course, I grab salt and pepper shakers to go on a traveling to, because we all want perfect bodies when we go and lay out on a beach somewhere, right? This is why I say these are all tied together. And you can actually successfully obtain all of these things and do it without going to, you know, the big box store.
Or
you could
extreme
do it,
lengths, yes.
Or extreme lengths. You can easily, especially, and we're going to get into exercise in a minute, because I'm hoping the more we talk about exercise, the more I actually do it. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't it great? Have a big old fat man here talking about.
No, stop.
I could be bigger, trust me.
Well, because we're going to break a lot of stereotypes and statistics with this next segment that I'm going to talk about. So I'm really, really happy.
Before we get to this, let me just bring up one more thing, and then we're going to do it. And what was it talking? What was I going to talk about? It was one of
Eating less.
Eating less, learning new skill, read books, quit smoking, spend time. Oh, so let's talk about. I don't have nothing here. There is not one thing on here that I can grab from this store that would make you understand that spending time with family is extremely important.
100%.
Because what it is this entire store is a good way to spend time with family.
This store is a great hodgepodge of people's loved ones, if that makes sense.
So one of the great things that you can do is, you know, spending time with family does not mean you have to go sit in the living room, because I hated this. Sit in the living room with grandma and grandpa while they watch Lawrence Welk or whatever it is today. That's not spending time with them. Seriously.
Have you ever
Don't tell me you like Lawrence Welk.
No, have you seen the show Eagle Crest?
No. Is that Lawrence Welk?
No, it's some crazy old person show, and I just have been binging it for some reason.
Well, I'm going to tell you, crazy old person shows I love. Lawrence Welk was not a crazy old person show.
I'm pretty sure it's called Eagle Crest or something like that.
If you loved Lawrence Welk, give us a big thumbs up, and then go move in with my grandma.
What I say, like someone's gonna be like, my favorite show.
So I look forward to it because Hee Haw was on after it, and I love Hee Haw.
Hee Haw.
So bring your family in here. Spending time with family is going out and listening to them, because I'm 55 years old, 54 years old. Yesterday I was 52. Today I'm 55. I'm not either of those. I'm 54. Actually, Brooke had to tell me this morning how old I was, because I told somebody I was 52. She goes, no, you're not.
LOL.
So, because when you get my age and your grandparents start going to the resting place in the sky, you're going to wish you spent more time with them. If you lose somebody quickly without realizing or without any cause, it just happens, you're going to wish you spent more time with them. So this shouldn't even be on a resolution page, because, and I get it, we all have family we don't care for. You know, we don't pick them, they pick us. Right. Well, they don't even pick us. They just get us. They just
exist, right?
So your when I talk about family, I'm talking about who you consider your family. Whether it's mom and dad, aunt and uncle, or
friends.
A best friend that you've had all your life, or a new friend you just met. You know what I mean? So bring them in here, especially if you have an age gap, and walk around and listen to them, and they will listen to you. And you're going to find out more about these people than you've ever. How's it going?
Good. I was going to pop up one of our newer.
Oh, yeah. So, did it come up? Yay, there it is. One of our new little bands across the bottom. Isn't that fun and fantastic? So come in, spend time with them here. I talk about this at every show there is because I'm a firm believer. I lost my family young. I wish I could walk down memory lane with them. You know, I wish I could spend time with them. I wish I could do stuff with them. I wish I could do, you know what I mean? I wish I knew about their past. My grandmother too. She was 98 when she passed away. I was in my 20s, but I was in my 30s, but I was off gallivanting around.
I guess like it's a really good place to add that saying is like you don't know what you have until you lost it.
Correct. So spending time should not be on a resolution cancellation list.
I feel like
to me it's shocking.
I guess it should be moved to the term priority because spending time with family should always be a priority. And but I guess also too, you hear me say this a lot, people truly make time for what they want. So
Mitch Miller.
What about it?
Sharon's like, Mitch Miller, haha. What's Mitch Miller? Oh, did she say something?
I don't know.
Look at me, I'm running around going, what is this?
Well, that's like a good way to see if we're still doing good on life.
So what's exciting to me too is this generates AI clips. So just little tiny clips. So I'm interested to see what those are going to be because I'm going to plastic.
And like how it's going to look up.
And how it's going to look all over the place with me running around being a fanatic. So anyways, I'm going to let her take it away about fitness because she's got a whole guru and we're going to try our picture. So bear with us, you guys.
I'm very excited.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I want to see in comments, both on Instagram and on Facebook, what resolutions you've broken. We know that Debbie already broke 3. She didn't say what, but you don't have to tell us the resolution, but how many have you broken so far? Because we are 2 weeks in and the gym says by the 13th, right?
Yes.
By the 13th. So the gym that you work at, we'll leave that nameless right now, but it is a very, very popular gym.
It is.
How many have you seen come in all excited?
I would say if we're doing numerical wise, I'd probably say that there's been like a 15% increase in new members.
And how many of them have you seen?
Maybe like 10%.
Like 10% of the 15%. It's actually not bad, but by February, what do you think?
I'd probably say in like another 6 days, I'd probably add another like 7 to 10% of those people are going to be.
Stop making resolutions about your body. They don't work. I don't diet because diet tells me that I need to eat everything in front of me.
It's very strenuous.
Just stop things and just do stuff. The thing is I have learned, and some people are different because I have a friend, Michelle, who diets help her because it puts her in a mental state where she can actually do it.
But a majority of Americans, that becomes really stressful.
For me, it would become stressful because I eat throughout the day.
Right.
And I even did when I was, taking care of myself.
I guess it's like I never really
just different foods.
Right. But though, again, as humans, though, we don't ever really want anything until someone says we can't have it. So no one wants to sit there and eat a giant chocolate cake until somebody says that we probably shouldn't or can't.
So you're going to talk about one of your favorite female bodybuilders, right?
Yes, and the only reason why I'm bringing her up is because she's very prevalent to being vintage. I mean, she
is the 70s.
Yep. And she also died in 1952, so she was around.
Oh, that wasn't the 70s.
Well, she was around in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
So
okay.
She's just very prevalent too.
And it's unusual for bodybuilders in the early turn of the century to be usually a bodybuilder. Back then was just fit.
Yes.
Whereas this woman was not. She was a bodybuilder. She
was officially the very first strong woman.
That's the picture we're going to try and get up for you.
And I have it. I already tested it out, so hopefully it still works out.
Why don't we show the picture real quick?
Well, I have it a little segment for that, so when I get to that, I'll pop it right up there. And
I'm going to show you workout stuff and different vintage stuff while she does this.
So I'll step out so if you want to have some.
I ain't going to practice them because then you'll have to call an ambulance.
Her name was Katie the Great Sandwina.
Sandwich.
Yeah, almost. She was born May 6th, which is 2 days before my birthday, so she's a Taurus queen. We love that.
All three out the money, working, and dieting. All three out the window.
Yeah.
All three out the window.
She was born in Vienna, Austria, but she unfortunately passed away January 21st, 1952 at the ripe age of 67 in New York City, New York. She was a whopping height of 6'1". She had one spouse her whole life, which was Max Heyman, and they got married in 1910, and they have 2 children together, and that includes Alfred Sanduina. A lot of people might not know who he is, but if you do like vintage music and actors, he moved on in his life to become a singer and an actor. Now I can pull up the picture. She was featured on a Barnum and Bailey's poster in 1914.
I love that. Okay, so she was Strong Woman.
She was Strong Woman, yeah.
She was Strong Woman. Okay, so Barnum and Bailey's. I wish I still had that.
No, I know.
She was probably in it.
I was just thinking about that.
So we had a Barnum and Bailey's of the original Freak Show, which would be the people who, the bearded lady, the short
conjoined
person,
twins, the claw hands,
and the muscle lady. So she was probably in that picture.
And I'm gonna pop up the picture here. So it says Germany's beautiful Herculean Venus possessing the most perfect female figure, and I want that to be of the huge highlight.
So that's what they're saying. This should be the most perfect female figure.
In 1914, she was considered literally perfect. So
I'm excited to see this. Unfortunately, Instagram, we're gonna have to show you by phone.
Right.
And hopefully we don't lose Facebook for this, but we're giving it a try to figure it out down the road. We're running it on the computer up here because you have to have multiple. But check these weights, these ankle weights out. Okay, oh, here she is. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. There she is. Yay! There it is. Yay! It was a little bit of a download because, of course, we have crappy service in here for some reason all of a sudden. But check her out. That is fantastic.
I'm going to leave it up for just a couple of seconds.
Go ahead. They can still see you.
But at this time, she was only 23 years old.
Real quick. If you guys want to see her talking, bottom right corner, you should see a picture TV.
At this time, she was 23 years old. She weighed a great healthy weight of 220 pounds, and she was still 6'1". Katie was one out of 14 circus children, and her parents were Felipe and Joanna Brumbach. She was only used to perform with her family and no one else. And the coolest part about this all, she was so strong, her father would bet 100 marks to any male who could beat his daughter in a wrestling competition.
What does it say right here? It says, drop your thoughts in the box below. Instagram, unfortunately, you know what? We should have brought the picture up on your phone.
I still can do that.
Yeah, we're going to show Instagram here in a minute. What we're showing you guys, because we're going to show you on Instagram via phone. I think we're back on normal. We are back on normal. Yep. Hi, everybody. So isn't that cool? I love that we can show pictures. So what I'm going to do in the future, just to let you guys know, as when we come across certain things like that we can't fit on screen,
right?
We will take a picture of that, like maybe a poster or, you know, a lamp or something like that. And we can say, check these lamps out. And we can put up that picture and say, you guys can come in and get them. Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack. That is so cool. People are going to say, just relax. I feel like, did you see that picture? Okay, listen. Did you see that picture of that guy who found his dogs during the Palisades fire? Oh my God, he was running around holding the dogs, screaming and yelling and like just outrageous, but yet heart-wrenching. That's me.
Yeah. So, yeah, her father offered anyone 100 marks to anyone who could beat his daughter in a wrestling match. And if you aren't familiar what a D-mark is or a mark, those are Dutch currency that was valid. Yep, which was valid between 1948 to 1990, and no one ever won a competition wrestling match between Katie and any male, except for her now husband, which he didn't even beat her. He just pulled up to fight her. And
thank you for whoever's giving us all the hearts and thumbs up. We love to see those.
And she still didn't, she still never had a loss. She found her then husband, which was her one and only husband, and again, they had 2 kids together. In 1902, Brumbach defeated the famous strongman Eugene Sandow in a weightlifting competition in New York City. She lifted 300 pounds over her head, which Sandow only managed to lift to his chest. After this victory, she adopted the name Sanduina as a feminine derivation of Sandow. So she essentially
Sanduina it's just a form of her name.
She like literally beat him and was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and take your name, thanks. And then did. Just made it like
So in other words, kind of like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm going to take your head now.
Yeah, practically. That was her. And
I beat you. I'm taking your name.
And to wrap up
I love that.
To wrap up this really cool segment about her, she worked with Ringling Brothers Circus until she was almost 60 years old, and her standard performance was lifting 165 pounds over her head. And keep in mind that 165 was her husband, so she was picking up her husband with one hand and holding him overhead. That's
funny because, you know, Mariska Hargitay, Law and Order.
Okay.
SVU. Mariska Hargitay. Her father was a strongman.
Oh, cool.
I forgot his first name. Steve, if you're on, pop up his first name. Anyways, there's a famous picture of Mr. Hargitay. I can't remember his first name. And he was a famous strongman. Did somebody say something? Love the shop. Thank you. Happy to say thank you. Anyways, there's a famous picture of him doing this, and right here is his wife, who is famous. Can't think. And here's his daughter.
Do you know how iconic
and
that photo
they're
is?
Like this, and what his wife is here, and his daughter is here.
That photo was very popular and iconic for a long period of time. Katie also performed in many other feats, such as bending steel bars and resisting the pull of 4 horses. And she also set a record overhead of lifting 296 pounds, which is 129 kg. And she stood for many years with that title until being eclipsed by the women's weightlifter Karen Marshall in 1987. Years later, Katie and her husband opened up a bar and grill and restaurant, Bridgewood, Queens, New York, and they advertised it as belonging to the world's strongest woman. And Katie would occasionally perform minor feats of strength entertainment to their patrons, such as breaking iron chains, bending bars, using her husband as a barbell, and she unfortunately succumbed to her great life in January 21st, 1952. Overall, though, she had a lot of trumps and triumphs that she went through her life as part of being one of the top female bodybuilders in the world. In 1930s, though, female bodybuilding wasn't even around yet, and that wasn't even until 1950s. And if we're going to put the two head-to-head, we have Abby Pudgy Stockton, which was considered to be the official first bodybuilder when it became popular amongst women. Katie was just doing it for fun, and she ended up just being a bad bee because of it.
So how many of you quit the gym because you're not going enough and it costs money every month, or it costs money?
Fun fact, if some insurance are now giving, if you're over the age of 40, I believe, they're now giving free gym memberships, and it's called like Active and Fit Silver.
It's probably through AARP.
I think so.
Okay. So, you know, we've heard excuses about, I don't do a lot of stuff. I don't go a lot of places because I never have money. I can't save money. So I'm going to give you a little hint here. Nobody can save money. And I don't care what people say. Things come up. The world is a very expensive place to live in these days. And we get nickeled and dimed to the point where we don't even keep banks anymore because we need all those nickels and dimes, right? So you're determined to save money. You're determined you can't figure out why you can't save any money. Well, there's going to be situations that take your money. And, you know, maybe a medical treatment, maybe you need to buy a new car, something to that effect. But that doesn't mean you can't save some money to maybe get away for the weekend.
Right.
So one of the ways I can say, and I'm going to tell you a little story when my brothers and I were born, is my father would buy a floor bank. And what I say by floor bank is it would be in the shape of an animal or something. And it's unpainted and everything, but it's large. It's got the slit in it for the hole, for the money, but there is no way of getting money out of it. So what he would do is every year, and it didn't last long because he died when I was young, but every year at our birthdays, he would drop $100 bill into each of ours. And then we would get like little gifts and stuff like that. But that money would be given to us, he always said. Whatever's in there will be given to us. And we could put money in there out of our allowance. Would be given to us when we go off to college, right? Great idea, right? Because he paid a lot of money for these banks because they were big. So I'm going to tell you, if you buy a bank that costs you $100 or more, and it has your slit in the top, this is not $100, and it has the slit in the top like this, but there is no way of getting the money out, you're going to be very hesitant to break something you spent that much money on that is holding your money.
Very little of it too. Like you're not going to bust it open if it only has $20.
No, you're not, because you paid $100 and more for that. Right? Like this is a $25, $20 with the sale. But this is something for a kid, probably, which would be cool. Mm-hmm. Because what they can do is it teaches them how to save money. And even if you save $20 a week or $10 a week, let's say you're going to give up that smoking, right? So you use all your ashtrays as catch-alls. You set them around, and do you want to talk about that?
No, I'm just showing them while you're talking.
You set them around and you throw your change in them, you throw your keys in them, stuff like that. Just because you're giving up something doesn't mean you throw away the paraphernalia that was required to use it, because we have enough trash in this world. So utilize it. If it's vintage, antique, contact your vintage and antique dealer, your local. If it's something you can reuse as a different way, reuse it, because like we're telling you, 9 times out of 10 within the first 3 months, if not the first 3 weeks, you will be right back to it. I smoked for 40 years and 30 years. What? Oh, I smoked for 30 years. And I went back to it several times, and Steve can contest to this, several times before I finally kicked the habit. So never quit quitting.
I just think it's funny that he wrote his New Year's resolution on here, and you see how it's February, and the next day he wrote, ha.
Oh, he wrote quit drinking on the 23rd and ha on the 24th. Next day. So, drinking's a good one, quitting drinking, stuff like that, but that's going to be a little bit more entailed. But banks without a way of getting money out will help you in maintaining the bone. Somebody just responded bone. Anyways, so we'll help you in maintaining, should I give you a second thought? So banks without holes in them, where you have to actually destroy the bank, which means you got to use everything in it. Weird. You didn't see it? It came through as a message, so I'll see it after.
Oh, I just refreshed and now the image got a lot clearer.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So anyways, that will give you hesitance. So they tell you that if you need to save money, go to the bank, put money in a CD because you can't get it out, right? Yes, but I can't get to it right now. So we'll take a look once the show is over. Something about they have a question about something they bought last year.
Oh, okay.
Probably either something that they wanted or
sure.
New. So that's always good. So if you're worried about breaking your resolution or your goals on saving money, grab something that's going to be very difficult or make you think twice about destroying. Something like this elephant from the 60s or 70s, you may not be able to replace this. So destroying this means that not only is the item not replaceable, but you have to use all the money that's in it. Books, read all the time. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just showing them
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Go ahead and show them real quick.
I got to the one page I was looking for. So when Steve first pulled these out for me, obviously he knows I'm in love. I've been changing the every couple of minutes. When he showed me this, he obviously knows I'm in love with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I was like, obviously I need these. So when I was flipping through these, obviously I was very intrigued as to if anybody actually utilized this calendar, and then I was also very intrigued.
Thank you, James Mansfield. Her name escaped my head.
And I'm here, July 3rd, a Friday.
Hardiday. Sharon, I love you.
Out of steroids.
Mickey Hardiday and Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield. So it's awesome. Thank you for that.
Who is it? James Mansfield?
James Mansfield's wife. Is Mickey Hardiday's wife. Mm-hmm. And then the son is Mariska.
Oh, nice.
And the daughter is Mariska.
So, I felt like this would be a great way to really track yourself, because honestly, you don't even need to have a workout routine. It literally breaks down Arnold Schwarzenegger's exact routine right here, which I felt like is really great for people who don't really have a set plan. And on the first page here, Arnold just pretty much talks about how his best friend was his training partner, and that is a really great way to hold yourself accountable. And there, we call that accountability buddies, and that is someone who shows up for you, and you show up for each other, and you guys push each other to do new things that you haven't in the gym before. And it is, you said what?
I'm looking for her.
it got more full at the end. Jerry must weigh 220 pounds or else he owes me $30. Honestly, that's also the best thing I've ever seen. I've never noticed this in the calendar before. 5-year Clash reunion at 6:30 on Saturday, November 7th. That's so cool. If this is your calendar, DM me because I want to know what you look like now. And if you're still ripped and jacked to the bone. And on the back here, they literally turned him into a Greek god, which I think is amazing.
Also some good ones. Here, show some of these.
Oh yeah, these are like foot weights.
And then I think I have the other ones out there.
You tie these.
Right here. Can you imagine walking on those?
You tie these to the bottom of your shoes. These don't have a weight on them. I'm assuming that these are probably 5 pounds each. And you tie these to the bottom of your shoe, hence the string holes here. They're not really heavy, but they are tough. And it feels like they're probably cast iron, so they won't rust or anything like that. But I also really like those were probably not your cup of tea, which they wouldn't be mine, that's for sure. We have a different style ankle weight. These would probably make my ankles hella sweaty. So I don't know if I would use these, but these are cool because they're adjustable. And it looks like these are probably just lead pillars. I'm like 99% sure. Each of these probably weighs like a quarter of a pound, not even. I'd probably say that this is probably also 5 pounds, but I could be wrong. It doesn't say on here. It just says Bruce. And Bruce Mace. And it has a size on here. And I think this is probably made from canvas, leather, some type of burlap for the strap. But I think that the lead pillars on the inside are usually what really highlight these ankle weights. So different. Because again, you can like take these out and make them weigh however much you like. And then we brought up this VHS earlier.
Real quick. So I looked at the DM that she had asked and what that is, and I'll respond to the DM. But it is fur.
Oh.
It's just fur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
She was asking about something she bought. She bought an oddity piece from us and was asking where you can answer my... I just... Rachel, maybe? Anyways, it is a piece of fur from a coyote. I believe it was a coyote. And somebody had brought them in that they had found, and we processed the fur, and it was in there. It's just a small piece. So I just looked pretty with it. So that's what that is. So some of the things in here, what else are you showing now?
Oh, I was just laughing at the description that it had on the back.
So, like I said, you can see a lot of things here. You know, one of the things was organized. Who likes a good label maker?
Heck yeah.
Vintage label makers. Those are always the rage. We're losing people.
No way.
On Facebook, we're down to 4. We were up to like 16.
Would you guys get bored?
I know, they got bored with us. Anyway, so I was trying to answer a DM. Too much of a good thing at one time. So next time I'll do it last year. Next time I'll do it afterwards. So anyways, resolutions. So you guys, please tell us what resolutions that you guys have switched over to goals. Because to me, a resolution that is working is switches over to a goal. Mm-hmm. And you hit your, when I was smoking, you didn't know me when I smoked, did you? Mm-mm. Okay, when I was smoking, I was up to almost 2 packs a day.
Jeez.
And I started smoking when I was 13. So during those years when you learn how to deal with stress, it was the cigarettes that caused me to be okay. So when I quit smoking, when I turned 40, I quit smoking. And 45, 40, it's been 10 years, 12 years. When I quit smoking, it wasn't a resolution that I quit it with. I felt like I was hitting a wall every 5 minutes. I felt like I lost my best friend. Sure. I probably, and you guys can ask Steve, I probably quit 100 times before I actually quit. Right. And then I remember it's hard. It's hard to do.
Because smoking is like
sometimes I think they need, like they throw you in rehab for heroin. They throw you in rehab for alcohol. They throw you I'm sorry, smoking is horrifying to quit.
63% of people have a hard time quitting smoking because it's not the nicotine that they have a problem cutting, it's the
habit.
And like,
nicotine's out of your body in a week.
Right, but where it's also like, I'm so used to getting a break at work, I'm gonna go outside and smoke really quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or there's something going on at a family function, you need a break, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many.
So switching them over from a resolution to a goal is always a good idea. One of the things is you don't get a lot of rest. I need to get more rest. So I grabbed a vintage pillow.
Did you know that it takes your smell and taste to come back 100% 9 months after you stop smoking completely?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, when I stopped smoking, first of all, I stopped eating really spicy food. Mm-hmm. It took about 3 or 4 months, and I couldn't handle the spicy food. But what time is it? This effing world... I'm like, I got to make sure I pass a half an hour time. This effing world smelled like garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean it smelled bad. I mean it smelled like garbage, meaning rotten food. It literally smelled like that. After about 3 months, I would tell Steve, and Steve can tell you, I'd be like, damn, is there something wrong with the garbage? It was awful.
It makes you look at the world differently.
Well, it's just, I mean, I couldn't imagine back in the days when there was no sanitary, when there was no septic and no, plumbing and stuff. I can't imagine. I'd be smoking all the time, right? Check out this vintage pillow. Isn't this fabulous, you guys? Isn't that fabulous? I love it. It is tufted. It is beautiful. It is great to lay your head on and take a nap or sit.
It's pretty.
It's what?
It's pretty.
I thought you were going to
I was mixing beautiful and pretty together.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what that TikTok fad is.
Oh, demure.
Oh, it's demure.
Very demure, very cute, very mindful.
Nothing is demure.
No, a lot of you people aren't mindful.
Oh, look at her.
That's what it is.
She's going to go off.
None of those people. No, people who use the word demure, it makes me giggle because no one's ever moved in that way.
And do they even know what the word means?
No one knows what the word mindful means.
Mindful?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said demure.
That too.
So, this is a good topic we should talk about. I hate it when people use words that do not mean that, and they think, "Oh, I'm going to start a fad and use that word, and that's going to become that."
Right.
Because we changed the words over time, talking about vintage and antique, because there's a lot of words. I keep standing out of frame. No.
Well, come on.
There's a lot of words that mean something today that meant something different back in the day.
Yes.
Gay. That meant happy. It means something different today.
Very true.
The derogatory term for a gay person.
Right.
That means something totally different.
100%.
We keep attributing words that mean something different because are we not creative enough to come up with a new one?
I was going to say, yeah, I think...
I think that falls right in line with how creative we are coming up with a new movie story. Bank.
He's a cutie. I like him.
Isn't he a cutie? He's got a hole in the bottom. What happens when you have a hole in the bottom?
You can get the money
You keep getting the money out, right? So what do? You see, you leave that in there. You either glue this in there or you leave this in here and you put putty over it. That way you cannot get it. Or put felt underneath. You'll forget it's there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because that way you didn't ruin the bank. And
Spend
you can still
money on a bank at home that you will have you have a hard time breaking because you spent so much on the bank.
They also updated this new app a couple years ago, and I'm sure you probably heard of it. It's called Acorns. And you can connect it with your debit card, and let's just say I go to the store and I spend $10.60. It'll take that remaining cents and put it into my savings account.
So it's what CVS always asks us. Would you like to put your change over here?
No, absolutely
to this person, to that person, to this person.
It's going to come right back into here.
Right back into the pocket. So especially since they nickel and dime you, and I have a bank to put them in now. Yeah. Take it home and put it in. You know what? The worst thing I ever heard in my life was standing here, had a kid in here who was probably 19. And he bought something. I went to give him his change back. He took the dollars. It was 84 cents or 80 cents. It was high.
Yeah.
I went to hand it to him. He goes, "Oh no, keep it. I'll just throw it out the window." I'm like, okay. Do kids today? So let me do this. Back in my day,
I'm surprised.
I literally would, can I get money for something to eat while I'm out? Well, aren't there payphones there? No. How many of you are wondering why a payphone would pay for my food?
Because you took the thing for quarters.
Somebody did a big thumbs up.
Oh.
because you go in and you check for quarters and stuff like that. But that's back when you could actually have $1 and buy a hamburger.
But you just made me think of something very legit, and I can't believe David didn't comment and say this, and I can't believe I forgot and said it either. You know how I've been saving money all year? I've just been rolling my own change.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And
once it's rolled.
Well, yeah, but like, what jackass am I going to look like when I walk into a store and be like, yeah, I got a roll of quarters?
Can I tell you why we're looking at our watches?
Yeah.
Because 30 minutes in, we can swear.
Right. That's when they stop looking for monetization.
That's when they stop.
Errors.
Right. I know. Isn't that awful?
So what dummy do I look like going into a store paying with a roll of quarters? Like, that's going to... I would never do that. Some people might feel comfortable doing. I would never do that.
But you know what? It's legal tender, and legal tender must be accepted.
That's
I don't
true.
care what people say.
But David, I made him recount all my rolls with me because I was like, well, once I use all my empty rolls, that's when I'm going to bring it to the bank and put it in my account or whatever. So we need to count all these rolls and make sure they're right. And then he looked at me and he was like, dude, I'm jealous. I've never in my life saved up $200 worth of just various change.
What do you do with it?
I'm holding on to it until
he would just spend it.
Yeah, he would just spend it. Yeah,
okay.
He would never roll it and save it like that.
Right. So one of the things that I have to say about growing up in the 70s and 80s, well, let's say 80s because I didn't really have, understand money until the 80s because the 70s I was single digits. Everybody bought everything. Having to pay for something with change is a lesson in humility.
You
And that's what we need. Lessons in humility. When you have to pay a bill and you have to break out the change because you don't have the money, that's a lesson in humility. That makes you understand the plight of other people.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? And when kids don't have that necessity, they become, with older in life, some of them may become, what? Entitled because they've never had to deal with that. So in the 80s, one of the things, and I did not come from a poor family, but yet my parents were very, you don't have money, I do. You need to make your own. You know what I mean? And I mean, they bought me the stuff I needed and the stuff I wanted. I had a good childhood, but they made me understand that you have to work for it. Mm-hmm. And there were times when I would have my first apartment. And not only were we pulling stuff off the street because we didn't have the money for furniture, but if we wanted to eat, we went and bought the top ramen with whatever was inside of our inside of one of these, because all of our actual cash, because we were getting paid $3.48 an hour. Honestly, that's how much it was. And I was working at Wilson Suede and Leather. Could barely pay for our food and rent.
No, for sure.
Actually, my mom had to help me with my rent most of the time because I couldn't even afford that. And I was working full time at the mall.
Retail shop. Yeah, that's crazy.
$3.48, you guys.
I learned to humble myself more when I started to drive and I bought my own car, and it was 25 years old at the time of me buying it. And I pulled up to the pump. I have put this one on. Come here.
Hold on. I want to see if there's any.
Oh, okay. I've been a person who's went and pulled up to the gas pump, and that little window on the gas pump that says this person before you put in $5, and they only got a gallon and a half of gas.
When did old timey become a phrase?
Old timey, I hate that one too. I hate that phrase, old timey. Will you press my last banner that I put up though?
Yeah, David. I'm sorry, I'm babysitting Oscar and Jeff.
Oh, LOL. He's still got the outside cat.
What do you want?
Turn this one on. So, I guess the lesson is as humans, we are bound to fail some of our resolutions, which is fine. It is going to happen, but that's why we always have next year to keep trying, right?
What time is it? It's almost time.
And as time goes on, all the way from the 1700s, all the way to 2025, it is super funny to see that all of these New Year's resolutions are still
the same ones.
Even in the 1800s,
that should tell us something.
People were still trying to lose weight, become healthier, spend more time with family, and save money. And in 2025, everyone's still trying to do that same thing. So I guess it just makes me feel a little bit better about not being where I am in here.
So you have to make decisions. So one of the things I'm going to tell you is when we open a vintage and antique store, people come in here thinking, oh, everything's cheap. Not everything is cheap because we have to pay for this stuff, right? And we do value market price. So, and then do our percentage off. But buying secondhand, whether it's cheap or not, those items are going to last forever.
Right.
So your money is being spent better when you buy better quality things.
100%.
Okay, so, and this is actually something I learned from Steve's dad. Okay, and I say that even though I was taught it from my mom and my father. I'm trying to. It's weird not being able to see myself on that one.
I can see you.
But train of thought.
You learned it from Steve's dad.
The 80s was good. I learned it from Steve's dad. Because I was one of those people who went out and just said, oh, $100? Okay, here.
Me.
And it's already broken within a week.
Me.
You know what I mean? That was me growing up. That was me in California. That's me with my ex. We had to, everything had to be done. I had a brand new kitchen with all top of the line appliances that we never touched because neither of us could. What a waste of money.
I guess I'm failing in life because I'm that way, but when it comes to like...
Yeah, but you buy vintage stuff.
I guess, okay, so like for example today, David had to get his alternator fixed.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I could spend $100 and like fix it myself and put it in, and then I was like, or what's the other option? He was like,
that's different.
He was like, or spend $250 and someone fix it. I was like, just have somebody
different.
fix it.
That's different. When you're coming to fixing stuff like that, when you're fixing your pipes, when you're fixing your car.
But David is immediately like, oh, let me try to fix it myself, and I was like, I have no problem using my money to have somebody else do it.
So, learning those, understanding that the things you buy that will last will save you money. Understanding where you buy them. And that is why we were doing this, is because when you buy vintage or even antique, you're buying quality, because these items were made to last.
Scale's very accurate, by the way. Scale's still very accurate, by the way.
What scale?
The scale.
Oh, yeah. You're buying quality. You go to Art Van, I'm going to say Art Van because they're gone. You go to Art Van, you buy something, it's meant to last 2 years at the latest.
Literally.
2 years, which means, and I always say he was the most genius businessman because he learned to make furniture that lasted exactly 2 years.
And then you needed to get a new one.
Yeah. So you're constantly throwing good money out for bad. Whereas if you went to, like, let's say a vintage or antique store and you bought a good piece of furniture, because we do not have high-end furniture stores anymore, like Thomasville, that type of stuff, they cannibalize themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning that they made their furniture too good. So nobody ever came back and bought another set.
Yep.
So you buy something like that, you don't have to worry about replacing it until you need to change your style. Not required to change your seating.
You want to know what's super funny? Now in 2025, that's called under consumption core.
Oh, is that something new?
Is literally using it until it's on its last official leg, and then
like my tennis shoes from the 80s.
Like legitimately using them until the laces start falling off.
Okay, so say that again.
Under consumption core.
Under consumption core. So I challenge you guys, look around your house, figure out, where did I buy that? Okay, and I'm not saying everything you buy from Art Van's gone, but everything you buy from Target or Walmart or any of those places are bad, because some of them are good, and some of them you need to get because you can't find enough. Like, you can't find it.
I was laughing because I'm thinking about all the stuff that I've bought off Amazon, and in about a year I'm going to have to replace it because I decided to buy it off Amazon.
Well, Wayfair, Toomey, all of those, they're meant to destroy. That's why they're so cheap.
Oh, yeah.
So if you buy this stuff, utilize those sites for gag gifts, for fun things that you just need for a day.
No, yeah, for sure.
Those are great. But if you're looking for something that you need for your house, hit a vintage and antique store.
You'll find the best, and if not, a better option.
And it will last longer. You get better use for your money. Mm-hmm. So you can save, like in 2 years, you're not going to have to replace that unless you need to just want to replace the style or the look. And I'm telling you that the furniture was made so good that all you had to do was buy a cover that fitted.
Literally.
And it would change the look of it.
And I'm thinking about it right now. Like I have a very old 70s dresser, and it's heavy as crap. Mm-hmm. And I talk crap about it all the time, but I've had it for 5 years, never had to get a new one.
And if you hated it, you know what you do? You paint it.
Get new knobs for it.
Paint it, get new knobs for it.
And I talk crap on it and on how heavy and bulbous it is, but things have fallen on it. Nothing can push it over. It's been a great couple of years with no problems. But I knew if it was cheaper, somebody could have scratched it, fell on it, it would have broke, the leg would have fell off.
So that's a great way to save money. It's a great way to spend time with family by coming in here. So we have the tools in our neighborhoods, in our towns, in our cities to accomplish all of these.
Yeah, literally.
Because you're looking at somebody who does freelance training. You know what I mean? if you're nervous about going into a full like Lifetime Fitness or something like that, and you're nervous because you are having weight issues, or you just feel like you're going to be looked at or whatever, utilize your local talent, because, and you can find them online. It's easy.
I was going to say keep my little voice in the back of your head anytime you get discouraged about going to the gym, and I mean this wholeheartedly. No one in the gym cares. Everyone's all stuck up here in their own brain.
And the funny thing is feeling that way.
Exactly. You're probably thinking about yourself more than they've even had the chance to think about somebody
But
else.
There's still that phobia.
We have a decent amount of stuff. World War II stuff and just veterans memorabilia.
We have some stuff over there. Come take a look.
Yeah. We're open every single day except for Mondays. Sundays we're open 11 to 5, and today's like Tuesdays are the only days we close at 6.
So anyways, look around your town. When you bypass that big superstore and you go with a personal trainer, or you go with a local mom and pop store, stuff like that, not only are you getting more value for your money, you're getting more results for your money.
And you're putting your money back in your own community.
Thank you. You're supporting a small business. You're putting money back into your community, which will turn around to you. So all of these failed resolutions, you can literally walk into your local vintage and antique shop here in Time Warp, and you can hit every single one of those.
And it's also never too late to make that change, that life change, that career change, that boundary change. And as you can see, that's very prevalent, because this wooden hand weight is probably older than 2 of me, and it is still looking pretty good. It probably only weighs like 2 pounds, but it still looks pretty good.
Kimberly, Happy New Year.
Aw. Is there anything else we're forgetting?
Is there?
I don't think so.
No, give them the spiel, and I'm glad this worked. We'll do this from now on.
Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. I'm happy with it. Happy Tuesday, you guys.
Plus, they can see a whole much more of the story.
No, we have been experimenting with the front and the back camera, so we'll probably try back camera the next time we go live. But this will be available to watch time and time again as soon as we end. And we would really appreciate all of the feedback, positive or negative, about our new setup on Facebook.
And then what it said on the bottom thirds.
Yeah, let us know.
Let
us know if it came up laggy. Let us know if it hindered any of your viewing process.
Let us know if you have any ideas.
Yeah, even though I shouldn't have to say that, I already typed that.
I know, we do it all the time. Please send us what you want to hear of. We have every single type of vintage item you can think of in here that we can walk you through how to use, or how to use outside of the box.
Exactly.
Or how to take care of, how to clean. I know that we have, I've invited Barbie, a fashion designer, to come in. And one of her specialties is transforming vintage into everyday wear. Mm-hmm. And so she's going to come in and with us, and we're going to do a fashion show.
That's going to be cute.
That'll probably be in a couple weeks. We are working on something with a comic book artist.
Nice.
Who writes and illustrates for Bongo Comics, mm-hmm. and Jason will be joining us for that one. He was also an animator and writer for The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. We have Autorama coming up in a month. Can you believe it? And Brooke Allen will also be with me at Autorama. We are doing it a little bit different this year. This year we are going to do live spots, but we are going to record the entire thing so that we can clean it up for you this year. And we have a great new backdrop, a vintage gas station.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that awesome?
I like it.
And of course, we'll have those great interviews you guys always like with the different pinups. The winner of 2025 Autorama. We will have past winners, and of course, Gabby, Lana Lenore will be there. Mm-hmm. Shelly Galore.
Oh, all the faces.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to be there, either be there or be square, you can tune in live next month to watch us straight from, isn't it?
It's Huntington Place, I think.
Huntington Place.
It used to be Cobo Hall. We've got some great guests lined up. You'll get to see Dave Marchione again, of course.
Cool beans.
And then we have some surprises lined up.
Yay.
So that'll be fun. And then, of course, we will have our person out on talking to them as they're getting dressed and doing stuff.
I can't wait. Last year was fun, so this year's going to be even
better.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was great.
So anyways, we have that coming up. You know, Caffeinated Conversation is still every Monday at 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So watch that. You can watch it here. and give them the spiel for the rest of it.
Just make sure you guys tune in, download, like, comment, subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you guys get your podcasts. And Jason and I will be live same
David
time.
Says he loves the setup and he loves the banner.
Yay! Same time, same place. Be there, be square. Next Tuesday, 6:30 sharp. Bye.
Bye, you guys.